remote mountain commune of Marangara today has been set aside for celebration. The unthinkable is happening. Burundi's head of state is on his way to visit. It's not exactly the form of transport you'd expect from a head of state. He's followed by a convoy of armed guards. This former sports lecturer knows how to combine work with keeping fit and staying in touch with the people. En route, he stops at this community project.
This is belonging to an association made by people who organize. So we're going to buy these trees in order to plant through the country. They are fruits trees.
On arrival at Marangara, President Pierre Nkurunziza is given a welcome fit for royalty. For many people here, conflict is all they've known. The prospect of hearing their president speak about peace has brought people down from the mountains. Burundi has its problems, but its future is linked with neighbours who've suffered even more bloodshed. Rwanda, where the assassination of Burundi's Hutu president led to Hutu death squads exterminating almost 1 million people. And the Democratic Republic of Congo, where millions have died in conflicts that still continue. Pierre Nkurunziza is a former rebel soldier. He was elected president in 2005 under a deal to end years of conflict between the Tutsi-dominated army and Hutu rebels.
Tuje gusangira ijambo tukongera tugasangira n'ikivi. Twaje kubaramutsa rero ko tubakunda kandi tubavise kumuzirikanya.
He's the first head of state ever to set foot in this part of the country. For years, the villages around Marangara were at the heart of an ethnic war, which began when Tutsi army officers murdered the country's first Hutu president in 1993.
Tugira mahoro. Tugira mahoro.
In the decade that followed, 300,000 people were killed as the country cracked apart. But now the last of Burundi's rebel groups has laid down its weapons and a ceasefire agreement seems to be holding. Burundi is being touted as a leading example of peacemaking in a region well versed in conflict.
sangwa iterambere sangwa ubumwe sangwa ibikorwa n'iterambere mu gihugu cyacu cy'u Burundi.
We have seen that democracy is possible in our country. Now we have elected institutions, and we have also formed a new army and a new police. There is peace. That's why we put down our guns.
The President's visit is giving special hope to those who can remember what it was like to live in peace.
Ko mahoro je mbona iyo umuntu arimye utwiwe akadufungura akaryama bushya agasubira ku kivi abana bakiga umuntu wose ukazi ko akora agatabuka mu rumenga amahoro umuntu abayafise uticha ahantu wikanga ngo ndagogo nakacanye umubanyi waryama mukarara hanze umwikeka ibonye mwese mujyaye mukavyuka muri mukayaje mu rumenga amahoro umuntu abayafise ko mutima wumva ko uruhutse worohewe.
But peace for some has come at a price. Suzanne Ntirandakura is a Tutsi, although she prefers not to describe herself that way. But when the nation descended into anarchy, she became one of the hunted. Suzanne survived the murderous frenzy, but many in her family were killed, including her cousin. She was resettled here in Marangara after years of running from war. Among her new neighbours are former child soldiers trying to restart their own lives. Jean-Claude was given a gun when he was 11. He wants to put his past behind him. Today, Burundi's president is leading by example. An avid football player, he's known throughout the region for his football skills.
You know that before I become president, I was playing in the league in Bujumbura, and after I became also a coach. Those players who are together in our team, they are my former players.
Nowadays, whenever he travels outside of the capital Bujumbura, so too does his team, the Hallelujah Football Club. The team's name a declaration of the president's own Christian faith. His opponents, this mountaintop village's local team, know they're in for a tough match against seasoned opponents.
Ikipe ikomeye mvira ko ari ikipe y'umukuru w'igihugu kuko hano henshi imaze gukinira imaze gutsinda inkino nyinshi mvira ko nabo nyene natwe ntiturabona turakina.
The only advice given by this coach to his players before the game is to be nice.
Yego abakinyi twavuganye twagerageje kubahanura yuko umukuru w'igihugu wikizira kumukinira nabi bamukinire buhoro buhoro mugabo naho nitwace tumureka baramwataka ariko kibi no kumukomeretsa cyangwa kumukinira nabi.
This may be a friendly match, but both sides are out to win.
Le président de la République. Bah, disons, surtout, c'est de calmer le jeu. Hein, parce que l'équipe adverse, ce sont des jeunes. Bon, disons, l'équipe des présidents sont des gens qui sont quand même un peu âgés. Alors, s'ils jouent comme leurs adversaires, c'est le deuxième but, voilà. C'est le deuxième but. Hein. Mais un peu de rigueur, là. Un peu de rigueur. Ils jouent dur. Il faut le faire la même chose. Ça, hein? C'est bon. Kazan, Wapeleki. Mais il faut, quand on fait surface, chaque fois qu'il est en retrait.
Burundi's football-playing president, as he's known throughout the region, firmly believes that football can bring the nation together and that tribal divisions are erased when it comes to the great game.
Football is very important, it's very popular in Burundi. And if you go in every area, you can see the people playing soccer. Soccer in Burundi is very popular. And when you come here, you see all the people, even the old men, the old women, come to watch the match. It's very important to unite the people.
Burundi has come a long way in a short time. It was only 4 years ago that Pierre Nkurunziza came in from the bush. A one-time physical education lecturer, he'd taken up arms after Burundi's Tutsi-dominated army attacked the campus where he was teaching, killing 200 students.
nta gukekeranya turabamenyesheje neza yuko intambara twayihagaritse zijya nguvu twaradukoresha mu kurasa zijya nguvu twaradukoresha mu kwiruka tugiye kuzikoresha kunga imitima y'abarundi no guteza imbere igihugu cacu c'u Burundi.
After almost a decade in the bush, laying down his weapons came easily.
No, it was not a very difficult decision because all the combatants were tired, even the army was tired, and it was also a good time to sit down together and to see how we can develop our country and to rebuild the country. We can say that to put down our guns, it come from the situation because all the Burundian people were tired.
Peace deals returned most of the Hutu rebel groups to the government fold earlier this decade, except for one, the National Liberation Forces, known as FNL. It's headed by this man, General Agathon Rwasa. Now, after almost 2 decades in exile and fighting in the bush, he too has come home.
I just wanted to ask you what it's like coming back here and seeing your men here. Is it a good feeling coming here?
Yes, indeed, it's a good feeling because, you know, we have to cope every day. Once they are here, if they are not visited, they may feel forsaken. But in our views, we are not to forsake them and they are not to forsake us.
Today, General Rwasa is meeting his troops in a cantonment in the mountains outside of the capital. The only armed soldiers here belong to the African Union, which is monitoring the peace process.
No mu buzima busanzwe rero kwipanga ni muhimu sana. Ni muhimu sana. Mugabo nkuko nababwiye igikuru nuko wumva ko aho uzoba uri hose haba mu buzima busanzwe bw'abanyagihugu bandi haba mu nzego zishinzwe umutekano haba ku ishuri haba hehe ukeneye kuba itara ryaka rimurikira abarundi kugira ngo tuve mu mwiza twagendeyemo bigatuma igihugu gisinzikara kigasubira inyuma. Turumvikana bene data.
Like President Nkurunziza, this former guerrilla fighter wants to exchange his military fatigues for a life in politics. and he wants to contest the next election, but there's a problem. His proposed political party is called the Party for the Liberation of Hutus, creating much angst amongst the Tutsis. General Rwasa argues keeping the party's name is about its identity, not about tribal divisions.
The people need peace. The people are accepting us. Why should the government refuse us, pretending that the people is against us through the Constitution? The Constitution was not elaborated by the people. It was just elaborated by a tiny group of people who were aiming to safeguard their interests.
Former President Domitian Ndayizeye, whose forces battled General Rwasa's rebels, believes democracy needs to be given a chance, including General Rwasa and his party, the FNL.
We have agreed that we all need peace in Burundi, and we have decided that FNL must be involved in the peace process in Burundi. It's a very good thing that the current president is encouraging Burundians to involve the peace and encouraging FNL to come in. It's a very good.
He also believes the main threat to peace in one of the poorest countries in the world is poverty.
If we follow very carefully only the peace process and we forget the problem of development, you know, we will come in again in conflict. And the main thing today, main preoccupation of Burundians today, and I think I'm not wrong, is a problem of poverty.
And that the international community must abide by promises made to Burundi which are yet to be fulfilled.
Maybe they are interested by the other problems which are occurring in the other countries, because maybe Burundi is too small.
For now, Burundi is helping itself. It's first light, and the people of Burundi are waking up early for a united effort to rebuild the nation. Every Saturday, except on the rare occasion they are given a day off, the nation is mobilised, including the president. Today, this village is taking the first steps to build its own school, and the nation's self-described born-again Christian president is leading the way. The government has promised universal health care and compulsory free primary education, but schools and health clinics are in short supply. In a nation strapped for cash, everyone is called on to help. Just as Burundi's people are learning to live in peace, so too are the nation's leaders.
And you're getting your hands dirty today?
Yes, of course, of course. We have, through the whole country, we mobilize around 4 million people. 4 million people every Saturday. The whole country now, they are what we call now community works. Burundi, we come from a civil war, and also Burundi is among the 5 first countries which are poor in the world. So the poverty is also another obstacle to develop our country. But we see that with peace, there is a hope. We can rebuild our country, and we can also see how we can develop our potentialities, especially in tourism, in mining. There is a hope.
Burundi's peace is fragile, but this time there's optimism it might hold.